And the Roosters are ready to come back out for the second half. The man who kicked the field goal is also the captain. They lead by 7. They won here back in round 11 this year. We told you that in the first half. One of only 3 teams to topple the Warriors here at Mount Smart Stadium this season. That victory was 38 points to 12, but the Warriors' form since has been very, very impressive. 9 wins of 11 coming into tonight, but they're going to start their second half 7 points down. Warriors return from the far side of the field. Interesting stat too on the Roosters. Their last 4 matches, they haven't scored a point in the final 20 minutes of the game. And you do remember last Friday night, they were kept scoreless by the Broncos in the second 40 minutes. That's been a bit of a trend for the Roosters throughout the year. They can fall into a hole, and the Warriors will be hoping that's the case tonight. Warriors form when trailing at halftime this year. They've won only 2 from 10. They've been behind after 40 minutes of play. And the Roosters as front runners have won 10 of 14. 14 times they've led, and on 10 times they've converted that into a victory. You've got the stats you need to know. Second half underway. VB Friday Night Football here at Mount Smart in Auckland. And Rapira it is who has the first hit up of the second half. 15 metres out from the Warriors line at 13-6. And winner to play Manly on Saturday week at the Sydney Football Stadium. Here's Swan. Cronulla, the other team with a weekend off, they will play next Friday night as Swan has lost the ball.
I'll check it.
Swan has lost it. Tony Archer says he will check it, but I think judging by the reaction of Swan, he's more to blame for this one.
He seemed to be marching forward, trying to put some pressure on the marker, as players are all coached to do these days. It was a very impressive run. Orbison lets him go. No, he just puts it, just drops it.
Well, he puts it on the knee of the man at marker, and that's not his fault. The number 17, Orbison, contacting the play the ball like that, I'm afraid, is the responsibility of the man carrying the football. So this will just be a scrum feed with Mitchell Pearce to do so.
Video ref requested the second replay on that one, and that held us up a little longer. I thought we had the verdict on the first one, to be honest, but players were just waiting for the resumption, so too the crowd and you at home. And Asta is tackled 28 metres away from the Warriors line. Soliola pulled off one big hit in the first half. And now 20 away, Orbison inside with Uasala. Uasala, he's only 10 metres from the line. One of a number of New Zealand-born players in this Roosters side, and Asta builds it up here for Pearce. Up quickly was Witt, they couldn't stop him though. Orbison's now got the ball. He's only 5 metres away, so second half starts where first half left off. Roosters on the attack, close to the Warriors line. Tupou off an Asta, and 4 in the tackle to hold him up. He almost falls in goal at the end of the tackle. Orbison dummy half. They go deep back to Pearce. Pearce goes even deeper to Minicello. He's put it down. Scooped up there by Miles. Miles is upended in the tackle of Chumavave.
He's miscounted the tackles here, Tony Archer. He didn't have his arm in the air for 5th tackle there. And the Roosters are caught on the hop.
Well, they end up with a changeover. Mannering's got the ball for the Warriors. 28 metres away from the line, and now Hardy has been good defensively tonight. He's had to be. Tackle 40 away, and now taking off his feed, working a narrow channel down the left side for Vanavai. Will bring the house down if he comes up with a try-scoring play tonight. A big winger for the Warriors. The centre field they come. Chumavave's got the ball. All the interchange players getting game time in that first half. A feed, and it comes for Pena. Strong run, got away from Fitzgibbon. It's a pretty good set from the Warriors. They reach the last. Chance to put in an attacking kick. It comes from Michael Witt. He goes high, Minicello's underneath it. Getting through 2 to try and bat it back was Mannering. It's ended up back near the 20-metre line. Play on now for Chumavave. Kept it alive, and out the back from Swan. Now Ravelli on for Tate. Tate put a kick in. Minicello goes across. Minicello with the ball. And the Warriors produce a line drop out of that.
You've got to be wary of the second kick, and it always produces a good result. The first one, no one contested it and bounced back. Minicello leaves it, it comes back, he's trying to get to it. All of a sudden, an offload here creates an opportunity out wide, and Tate, rather than run it, puts a lovely little kick into the in goal, and Minicello did well to get across and defuse it, but in the slippery conditions, could not get it back to the field of play.
That was a big effort from Anthony Minicello. He's travelled a lot of metres at speed to get there to be the last line, because he was close to the football when it was kept alive.
It's a medical miracle, as Gus said in the first half. He's having an outstanding game, Minicello. Here is Rapira. You're talking about a bloke whose entire career was threatened. And he's back here playing finals football tonight. He's just about the best on ground.
I've got to say, too, his kilos lighter than he was when he was at his best. I mean, he lost a lot of weight during that layoff. And it does take away a little from his game.
Now slow play the ball from Chumavave as Feen runs into the backside. Almost up with Shillington. 5 metres away from the line.
It's a bit harsh.
A bit contrary conduct offence. Warriors with the ball. Back it comes with Ohio. The try scorer in the first half has struck through. Without a ticket, he's gone straight through the turnstiles and scored. The crowd is up. It's 13 points to 10 and Ohio has a double.
Yes, gets his second of the night and made it look easy. I'm sure he was Rookie of the Year years ago. Really burst onto the scene and has come back in now. That was back in 2002, the year they made the grand final. The worrying sign for the Roosters was how easily the Warriors got down this end of the field with their first set of 6. They got a restart, one-on-one, slipped out of the tackle higher, and all of a sudden it will just be the Braithen Nasta field goal that separates the sides.
Craig Fitzgibbon, the man isolated in the line on the quicker man, and he just slides off a higher with pace goes around. That's too soft a try in a sudden death semi-final.
And they've brought the crowd back into it straight after half-time. And Witt to convert, and he comes. It's 1 point the difference here. Finals football on Channel 9, 13-12 to the Roosters. Well, he's now got 9 tries for the season, Lance Ohio. He's a good player. He hates the utility tag. And he gets his chance as starting fullback with Wade McKinnon suspended. And he will become available again if the Warriors advance. And they're in possession. And Rapira, as it was to start the second half, with a job of trying to get back to the 20.
Well, let's just see how comfortable they get out of their own end here, the Warriors. They did so after that first mistake from Logan Swan. That second tackle now almost to the 30. And not off the back of particularly quick play the balls.
Luck with the ball for the Warriors. It's been a great campaigner for them. This is his 3rd year at the club now. The party kept it alive, back for luck. He did actually captain the side at stages this year. Michael from Gatton. 6 Queenslanders in the side. And now with Chumavave. And he is wrapped up in the Fitzgibbon tackle just inside the Roosters half. Almost penalty time there. Last tackle for the Warriors. They go high. The kicker was interfered with there. Ball has come down 25 metres out from the line. I think Shillington it was who walked away from the scene of the crime after the challenge on Witt. He was playing for the penalty. It didn't come his way.
And of course the Warriors will get confidence out of the fact that the Roosters have had a few poor second halves this year. There's the kick by Witt. I think that's okay. He was in the process. You're allowed to put pressure on the kicker. But the Roosters have had some very poor second halves this year, and in fact in a number of them failed to score a point.
Well, that's the point. In the last month, 2 of the games they actually won, but in all 4 games they haven't scored a point in the final 20. So we'll see how we're placed as we get to the final quarter tonight. Vanavai's ready for a run. Vanavai is hit front on and then taken sideways and taken out of town.
That's a wonderful tackle.
Fitzgibbon and Miles it was. Now with Kirk.
I think Craig Fitzgibbon was smarting from the one he missed at the other end that led to the try, and he made up for it there with a big one on Manu.
35 away from their own line. The Warriors just 1 point down at the moment. And that controversial penalty try in the first half still in their minds, as now Feen is able to get away for 5. Crowd thought marker was offside. Orbison not standing square. Now Witt will go high. Was taken down by Mitchell Pearce. There may be trouble on that one. Minicello's got the ball for the Roosters.
They're really sticking to this dummy half running now. I think their coach Ivan Cleary has said to the Warriors at half-time, look, you looked at your best when you were just running from dummy half and bending the Roosters back easily. Certainly come out with that attitude in the second half.
Roosters have got it outside their 30. This is Orbison. Goes a little wide there to Minicello. Keeps it alive. Not a good ball, though. Out in front of Tupou. Scooped up. There was great pressure on. Now Tupou's missed another one. He's tried to bat it back in the field of play. There's Minicello. You could say hand pass onto Anasta. Anasta's 10 out from the line. Now back to Minicello. Roosters throwing caution to the breeze there.
Yeah, I thought it touched the Warriors player earlier in that play, but didn't see the referee signal 6 again.
Well, they lost 30 metres.
And it's last tackle now.
If they didn't stop passing, they'd have gone home to Sydney.
Now Pearce has kicked from 30 metres out under pressure, and then Kirk seemed to lose it totally and has watched it go over the sideline. He ended up almost doing the splits, Aidan Kirk.
And this is exactly what happened to the Roosters last week in the second half against the Broncos. When the Broncos began the second half strongly, the Roosters lost their way, went side to side, forced passes that weren't on, and just got themselves into a terrible pickle. And the second half has started off exactly the same way this week.
I know every point in the final is very, very important, but the next try in this game is absolutely crucial. It might just be the springboard for the Roosters to go on with it. But the momentum at the moment with the Warriors, if they score the next try, they could get away with it.
The Warriors are all ready to pack the scrum. Roosters have got a little trouble here.
Sala coming off, I believe.
Well, he wouldn't let them make a change, I thought, at the scrum. But with the condition he's got of him, the blood all over the jumper.
Can't go on. Pack the scrum.
So Amelia can't come on for him because he's saying you cannot make a change at the scrum.
Well, it's a ridiculous rule. It's a rule that was brought in during unlimited interchange to stop 4 players coming on and 4 players going off. It hasn't been changed with the times.
In fact, it was Lapuni Paya.
So Warriors go across field high, then away to Vanavai. He comes back in field. Roosters come from everywhere on the big blade. Now it's batted back in field. That's out of the Roosters playbook. It ends up in the hands of Benery. So it's been a little unconventional here over the last few minutes. The attack as Rapira goes forward and sends one flying. I think Miles came out the back door. He was headed back to Sydney as well, Gus. Feen unloads there for Chumavave.
They're way on top here, the Warriors. Way on top.
15 metres from the line. Warriors attack. Feen again. He's been good tonight, and Luck is ironed out. Miles, quick recovery. And Michael Luck absorbs the punishment of that tackle. Feen with the ball. 5 away from the line. Ravelli. Tate doesn't get it cleanly. He's still with it. A fend away from Tupou and then falls into the tackle of Shillington. 11 minutes from the line. Last tackle. Big play here. Feen decides to go high. Up goes Kirk. He's got it. The captain. Captain Kirk has got the ball. He reckons he scored, Aidan Kirk. This will be checked by the video referee. But Aidan Kirk, the way he put one arm up, he's either trying to bluff them or he's got a pair of aces and has scored.
His body language is very strong. We are a long way away where we're commentating up here. I thought they'd actually done a great job, the Roosters, in holding him up. He's not a big man, Aidan Kirk, but he had the advantage of the run-up. He just checked his run to get the momentum in the jump. Gets the football. And Nastra is there, Minicello is there, doing their best. Well, you can't tell from that.
The answer's a pineapple. Let's see if we can see the ball.
This might be better.
Anasta hand under it. Hand under it. Hand under it. I don't think he's got it down. Hand under the ball. The point not showing. Hand under the ball. Hand under the ball. I see no contact. Vossi?
Look at Ravelli go up.
It was Ravelli's hand that went up.
He's claimed it. Oh, gee, it's as close as you want to go.
Well, the penalty try, the benefit of the doubt in that, I believe, was too much to give a penalty try.
I think the ball's just bobbled at the last moment and landed on an arm.
On that basis, benefit of the doubt goes to the attacking team.
What
in
about
this
the chat here at Mount Smart? It's a good point, Sterlo. On the benefit of the doubt, the pressure is on Stephen Clark and Phil Cooley. If they rule no try here, they might want to go home in disguise. Here's a very big decision. The 2008 season, they say no try. No try, he hasn't got it down.
Wow.
It is still a play the ball, 10 metres out from the line, but the thing is, it is the Roosters who will have possession. It was the last tackle.
They don't come any closer than that. Warriors way on top here. Way on top. Look at this defence get up now.
51 minutes gone, and the Roosters with possession, and Perrott is tackled 20 metres away from their line. Roosters trailed by 6 early, then got it to 13-6 by half-time, and now we're back to 13-12, and Freddie is gone for the rain jacket over the suit. 30 away from the line, but he'll watch from the sideline. Ivan Cleary will stay up in the stands. And now Orbison, away to O'Mealy. Very good tonight, Mark O'Mealy, for the Roosters. A lot of game time as well. Revelling in finals football. He said that in our opener tonight. Nothing better than this. This is why he plays footy, for nights like this one. Fielded by a higher. Manu Vatuvei's got the ball. Doesn't wind quite up. He's copped a bit of treatment tonight, Manu. That time it was Orbison who made the tackle, the hooker.
They've muscled up against him in defence, but they haven't had to contend with him hitting the football at pace close to the line. He is still the go-to man if they can get inside the opposition 10. There's a higher plays it to Jerome Rapati. Good dummy half runner, the number 4.
And just about every tackle at the moment. Crowd appealing for a penalty, putting a bit of heat on Tony Archer. Advantage of playing at home is Mannering.
Well, this is all they're doing, running from dummy half, running up the short side of the field, bending the Roosters back, just looking to get in an attacking position.
Now with Witt. Centre field they come. He's back out there for the Warriors. Game 311 tonight. A 55-test veteran for New Zealand. Last tackle. Witt has taken it high. Minicello is underneath it. Minning's done it again, but he's lost it. He was headed over the sideline. And there's a big play. Manu has got involved. And the Beast has mauled the count.
Well, he picked him up like a sheep and looked as though he was going to shear him. He just threw him out. Big Manu. If you're going to be grabbed from behind by anyone, you don't want it to be Manu. And I think we've got a penalty here to the Warriors.
For interference on the play. So either way, the Warriors were going to end up with a ball. No thought of going for goal close to the sideline.
They are one of the poorest teams in the competition, disguising the shepherd on chases. And I shouldn't use the word shepherd in there after we've had someone just about shorn.
Well, here's a big moment. Nice work, Gould and Sterling working off each other as the Warriors attack. Mannering 5 minutes from the line and 13-12 to the Roosters. Goal line pressure on the visitors here at Mount Smart. Henderson a dummy half, another slow play the ball. He goes to centre field. Witt keeps it going for Fiend. Fiend straightens up. Nathan Fiend is held there in the tackle of Orbison. Right in front of the posts. Henderson looks up to the left. Comes that way. Ball comes along to Mannering. Mannering's got over. He's held up in goal. This will be a play the ball 10 out.
Yeah, that'll be an easy one.
4th tackle.
Simon Mannering, who this week was voted the Player of the Year for the Warriors. Didn't miss a game last year. Hasn't missed a game this year.
Well, this is what we saw last week against the Melbourne Storm. The Warriors just keep peppering the line. Held up, held up, held up.
This will be the last tackle when Chumavave is held. So a chance they may kick Vatuvei's way and put him up against Senamatosar. Let's see. They come to the left. Here it goes. Witt. Here's your test. Senamatosar under the ball. He's got it. He's got it. And the Roosters have possession.
Well, that was better disguised. Vatuvei got a little check. Well, the touch judge has pointed out another bit of contact here on the chase. So I'm sure it was Vatuvei. It was just nudged aside, and Nasta will question the decision. celebration. Tony Archer didn't see it. Vadavai turned straight away to the sideline official. And he has ruled against a man shielding the catcher.
Soaked up time there for the Roosters. And the Warriors will attack again. What a night here at Mount Smart. Chumavave with the ball. It's sudden death football. And we have a one-point ball game with 25 minutes remaining. Warriors with Henderson. Henderson has got it down. It bobbled in his hands. It's going to be another one for the video referee. But the boy from Berkeley Vale may have scored.
Well, he was great position here, the referee Tony Archer. I thought he was going to blow the whistle with the ball coming loose, and as we saw last week, players coming together after possible points have been scored. And Henderson gets the ball out at the end. The third time they have been over in the last 5 minutes, firstly on the far side with Aidan Kirk. That was ruled against. Simon Mannering was definitely held up. And now a decision as to whether Henderson has gone through the meat of the defence and got the football down.
Oh, wow.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. He was all certain to put it down. What comes out here? Is it a boot? Puts it on the boot.
He's rolled it on the leg. I think it's Anasta's leg. I think that constitutes he's lost control. If the leg's not there,
Yeah.
he's lost control of the foot. He's rolling it around on the leg.
But it looks like the point went over the edge of Anasta's boot towards the ground there at one stage. He's rolling it.
Well, that doesn't help us. We need to go to a better angle.
You're going to have to go to the other side. From what I've seen there, I'm thinking try. This will be the angle that shows it. Goes on the leg, swivels, and then falls out.
And at no time does the ball leave his hand,
No.
but that's because he's rolling it all over the leg and the boot.
But it's rolled out there. I don't think you can give it.
Well, we're in doubt.
I don't
So does
think-
that mean benefit of the doubt goes the way of the Warriors hooker?
I just don't know that it ever touches the ground while he's ever got his hand on it.
Might be a penalty try.
Well, I'd like to think that Tony Archer has a clear side of this and has a clear opinion to
He's got
rule
the
on
best
this.
view. He's got the best view, but he was worried about the bobble.
Well,
And then it's taken out of his hands, up with Steve Clark and Phil Cooley on this.
If he had he did have an opinion. I don't think it can come back ref's call because it was a good view there.
Oh, boy.
Benefit of the doubt.
They've said try, benefit of the doubt with 25 minutes remaining. Henderson has a try, and by gee, this little bloke has played well tonight, and I'm sure his dad, watching up on the Central Coast in New South Wales, loved that.
Well, it was coming, but when it arrived, we still weren't quite sure that the Warriors were going to the lead. Henderson does a great job here. It's reward for perseverance. Again, Anasta did his best. Minicello was in attendance. But the people upstairs have had some very, very tough decisions tonight. I haven't necessarily agreed with, well, certainly the biggest one that they've made. The Warriors extend the lead now through the boot of Michael Witt.
Back in front for the first time since the 31st minute. The Warriors 18-13 in finals football on Channel 9. A night not without controversy here at Mount Smart Stadium, and still plenty of time for more to come. 24 minutes remain. These two teams in a sudden death battle that has seen another lead change, and the Warriors are now in front by 5, and the Roosters scoreless second half. And they're getting close to the final 20, where they haven't scored a point for the last month.
Well, they haven't even played the ball in the Warriors' half of the field in this second half. Have not played the ball in the Warriors' half of the field. That's how dominant the Warriors have been.
And again, a very big call from the touch judge. It looked as though the Roosters had defused the kick. And he got involved and gave A tip to the referee, that should be a penalty to the Warriors, and they took advantage. Again, Henderson. Oh, straight through.
Henderson again got past Orbison. Orbison may have been offside in any case, but Henderson is having a wonderful night. And it's back for Fiend to kick. It's quite a story, Henderson, as Minicello goes back for this ball. He will have to play it. Minicello, the best has got him. They've got him in goal. Rapati, Mannering, Vadavai, line drop out Roosters.
What's a great chase. Minicello aching for the ball to go dead. He actually slipped a little bit and then gave it a second chance to roll. He was going to pick it up here and then slipped and then just waited one more bobble. And when he looks up, there's big Manu and Rapati and Mannering. They said, hello, mate, back you go.
On those occasions, you feel sorry for fullbacks. He desperately wanted that to go dead, Anthony Minicello. The ball wouldn't accommodate.
Well, now the Cauldron atmosphere starts to take over the Roosters young fellas, doesn't it? The crowd is right up there.
And fielded by Fiend. Wiki loving this in his final season in the NRL. Made his debut back in '93. It's an age ago. And now Swan has got the ball for the Warriors. They are 22 metres away from the Roosters line. They lead by 5 here, Stephen Price. And they've gone with all the veterans there. 3 hit-ups in a row. Now 12 metres from the line. And the Roosters under intense pressure here. Fiend's got the ball inside for luck. Winner of this match tonight, a reminder, runs in to Manly on Saturday week as they throw it back along for Witt off Fiend. Then O'Hara out for Vadavai! Manu has scored! The crowd has got their wish! Big Manu has gone over for a try! The beast! And what a run of points for the Warriors! Down 13-6 at half-time. Now it's 22-13.
Beautiful play. Beautiful work. Vadavai still down. Their leading try scorer. That's number 16 for the season. Scored 6 in his last 3 games. But it was really well constructed, this. I mentioned decision-making against the football earlier in the game. Well, this was very good decision-making with the football. A number of second-man plays. Fiend went across, eventually to Witt. Mannering goes through. And that pass there, that was a killer pass. Got the man interested enough to come off the sideline. And the bullet pass just gave Manu Vadavai enough room to work. They brought Sedamatasar off the sideline, and this is where you want Manu Vadavai to catch the football.
And Minicello getting across. It's his knees that hit Manu Vadavai. I mean, haven't had an 8-point try for a long while. It's got to be in the act of scoring the try that the offence happens. It can't be after he's put it down. It has to be in the act of scoring, and the knees caught him. That's why he stayed down.
Sedamatasar, there was a very promising young back rower. They do play him in the centres a bit because of his skill, but he's totally lost out on the wing. You saw him in defence there. He didn't know where to look.
They're trying to rush Roberts back on now after that try, actually, Gus.
Yeah,
He'll be back on the next kickoff.
He just went past there with the headgear on.
Well, Sedamatasar didn't know what to do. He did defuse a bomb, and then the Roosters conceded a penalty, but the Warriors are running away with this.
Here's a kick. He's taken it back 27 metres right from the sideline. You can't get any closer to this.
Oh.
And now the trainer's almost had a run in as Michael Witt. You can't put him off. He has kicked it, and the crowd have gone up again. The Roosters are on the rack. 24-13. What a kick. Laurie Daly sideline.
Tremendous atmosphere down here, fellas, and many people have questioned the endurance of the Warriors over the back end of their games over the last few years. But the Warriors side of 2008 are full of running. They've got plenty of energy, and there's a lot of momentum in this game. They are going to finish this game off. They are playing some of the best football we have seen in a long time.
Well, very few players strike the ball as well as Michael Witt. And that one was after he was balked by a Roosters trainer, almost running in front of him, Wiki.
As Wiki read it back, and the Roosters tried to make the tackle. Soliola has ended up somewhere in the Cook Islands, I think. He's somewhere in the Pacific.
Well, it's good to see that plenty of concern from the Warriors players as well. Brent Tate helping out the man who caused the contact in Ruben Wiki. It was thrown in at a time. Oh, gee. That Ivan Cleary was looking to take advantage of what they had and screaming when he took the football forward. Ruben Wiki bounced out of the tackle and left them sprawled behind.
Well, you blokes both played the game. How tough is rugby league? For Soliola to be on his feet seconds after that.
Oh, they're tough.
What a game this is.
You can never doubt the courage of anyone who plays first grade. And there's a youngster taking on one of the real hard men of rugby league, albeit a veteran, but young Solly, who looks up to Ruben Wiki. Just on the wrong end of one there.
Well, he's on his feet. He's not sure which country he's in. He's back on his feet.
Henderson, away from Wiki. That's one of the shots of the final. Seeing Wiki with a war cry as he ran back from the kickoff.
You could see when Ruben Wiki went out there, it was Ivan Cleary looking to take further advantage of the momentum they built. And his first couple of runs, again, just reinforced to his side that, guys, we are going forward. Let's keep it going.
Now Price trundles forward, but he's well handled there by Orbison and O'Mealy.
Can't remember the last time the Roosters handled the ball.
Last tackle here for the Warriors. It's almost gone astray. Witt's got it. We'll get a kick in, though. Just. And it's a pretty good kick as well. It's an outstanding kick. Now, this is from the 40, is it not, from Michael Witt? By accident, if he's got back inside the 40, it's a blunder that may come up as a golden play.
Well, as soon as the blunder happened, the Roosters players came forward, including the man on that far side. At one stage, he wasn't going to get a kick in. In the end, he was able to kick the football over the widest player.
Oh,
no, he's outside.
No,
it's still a great result, but not the perfect result.
Because that left foot landed over the 40-metre line before he'd made contact with the ball, it is not a 40-20. It'll be a Rooster scrum feed. Well, we've got a few things tonight to examine.
What a game.
Talk about them too. Footy show on Sunday. Was a scrum against the feed.
Yeah, that would have just kind of topped it off nicely.
Footy show 11 o'clock on Sunday following Widewater Sports, and then guess who returns to the Sunday roast? The red-headed back rower from Penrith, Phil Gould's back on the show this Sunday at midday. He's ungagged as the Roosters have the ball 9 metres away from their own line. And we've got another big night tomorrow night in Brisbane. Rabbits to call the action with the Broncos against the Storm. That's live from 7:30.
Just got to be careful with the Warriors in their enthusiasm. Don't give away an offside penalty. Getting up very quick. They are right on top, keen to keep the opposition at this end.
They're in that final 20, and the Roosters, they need points. They need to do what they haven't been able to do over the past month. Pearce, a good kick away. Ohio has to get to it before the sideline. He's with it. 15 metres out from his own line. Warriors possession. They haven't made a whole lot of errors inside their own half tonight, the Warriors. They've had some very good sets coming out of trouble. And they're all getting back onside, ready to do the job again.
Bit of high contact there from David Shillington, claimed by the Warriors. But play on with Rapati again out of dummy half.
It was on Aidan Kirk. The party tackled short of the 40. Now Tate will just take those metres out of dummy half as well. Paya got to him, so did Tupou and Anasta, but it just runs like that. They're back to halfway with 15 minutes remaining, and the Warriors up now by 11 points, and they take the ball out of play. Great composure, great control.
Well, it's easy to play in these conditions when you've got 11 points on the scoreboard. Brad Fittler looking a little concerned, sitting down on the sideline with his troops. The crowd of 25,585. I don't know that you can fit any more in here at Mount Smart. And they are right into the contest at the moment and celebrating. They're dancing, they're singing. She's going to be a hot time in the old town tonight. Ivan Cleary won't be counting his chickens just yet. But this is a marvellous story, qualifying in 8th position. 2 months ago, they were gone. They weren't going to see finals at all.
And then they went on to win 9 of their next 11. They are one team that came into the finals on the back of a win over Parramatta in the final round with momentum. And at the moment, it looks like continuing, but we still have 14 3/4 minutes to go. Plenty of time for the Roosters to score the necessary points.
Spirit comes back for the Roosters. You saw there Paya was forced from the field by referee Tony Archer because It's off for the first time. He's had to have that cut tended to. So they can't hold up play any longer. He has to get treated elsewhere.
Great carry there from Mark O'Mealy.
I can't believe he's been allowed to keep that jumper on. If that blood bits around the stomach, you've got to change those jumpers. Roosters are with the ball 48 metres away from the Warriors line. It's the closest they've been for some time. Now he's been told you do have to get that jumper change. Played now by Orbison. Pearce, glancing blow there in defence from Price. And Tupou with it, 33 metres away from the line. Last tackle for the Roosters. Every set so big now for them. Pearce decides to go with a low kick option. Vanavai got onto it, got away from Pearce, got away from another. And 10 metres away from the line, he'll play it.
Again, I don't understand that type of kick. It was welcomed by the opposition. They didn't have to contest the ball under pressure. Ball bounced nicely for them, and the opposition need to score points. That really wasn't going to lead to points.
Take that up there by Soliolo. Incredible that he recovered from that challenge on Wiki. It was almost Chief and Spud stuff, that. Soliolo trying to tackle Ruben Wiki as Henderson makes more ground, continuing his night, and it's been a night out indeed. As they get rolling quickly. Tate's got the ball for the Warriors. No swerve from Tate. Keeps it alive on the fingertips. Bellolino with the ball. Then with it is Price. 25 metres from the line. Over the top for Mannering. Now Rapati. Rapati's 10 away. Kicks to the end goal. Off the legs of Minicello. Rapati's lost off them. It would have been play on.
Well, this is incredible. The number of times tonight the Warriors looked as though they've stuffed it up on tackle 5 and then somehow get another kick to the ball and becomes a miracle play. And again, they're going to benefit.
Well, at the start of that, Brent Tate had every right to be filthy with his outside man, Aidan Kirk. They had the rush going down that right-hand side. He looked to his outside and Kirk missed the jump. Just have a look as he goes down. It's 2-on-1 if the winger is in the right position, but he's not. So Tate had to come back inside. And then the Warriors do what they do best. The party almost got the football back, but Minicello did a great job.
They get the scrum feed out of it, ruling that Minicello knocked it on. And then we had more hold-ups because Paya has been ordered off the field again by Tony Archer. He said, you can't go into this scrum, you've still got blood all over you.
Amos has looked like coming back on 3 or 4 times. He's still prancing up and down the sideline with the headgear, keen to get out.
Henderson away for Witt. Warriors with a chance to get the position where they're close to closing out the match. Ohio will play it 4 metres away from the line. They're looking to go through to the second last weekend of the competition. Witt almost obstruction there around the back of Medellino. I'm fine with that. No defender came up on him, and it was good play in the end by Witt. 8 metres from the line. Warriors with Henderson. He goes back deep. Fiends had a good match. He probes again, and Fitzgibbon is there to make the tackle, ball and all. 4 metres from the line, the Warriors. At 24-13, Henderson knocked down by O'Mealy. And the Warriors will get a scrum fit again, 10 metres out.
Well, O'Mealy could see that they're going for the flat runner, looking to squeeze over the line. He got himself in between the passer of the ball and the intended receiver. He comes up quickly. Henderson comes off the line, throws it at him, and I don't know that O'Mealy played at that. He played at the man, and the ball came off him. And probably wasn't a knock on when you look at it. He didn't play at it at all.
So Warriors win the scrum with Rapati. Rapati takes a little run at them. Pearce was across to make the tackle with Orbison. More pressure on the Roosters. That's been the story of the second half. Fiends got the ball 10 metres out. Flat-footed as Witt. Witt tries to straighten up. Got the match winner last week. Risky pass. Fiends onto it. He's tackled by Miles. 12 metres from the line. Warriors lead by 11 after they trailed by 7 at half-time. 18-point turnaround. Now with the ball, Mannering. Simon Mannering will play it 3 metres away. Henderson, flat ball run around with luck. Henderson then for Wiki. Wiki has gone over. Crowd has gone up.
Held up.
And Archer says held up. Back to the 10-metre line.
Party pooper, Tony Archer. Party pooper.
Straight up, Ruben.
He could have given Ruben Wiki the ultimate there in his last home game in New Zealand.
Well, they are hanging on to their season by their fingertips, the Roosters. It's about the 5th time the Warriors have got across as Hire looks for a hat-trick. Denied again, last tackle.
It is big stuff this. On the last, they've got a kick which has gone too hard. And it will be a 20-metre restart for the Roosters. They can't shut this game out, the Warriors.
Well, you can put the sprinklers on at the other end of the field. We've seen no play up the other end all half. You could put the under-8s out there and have a game of touch to entertain the people at the other end. The Roosters have been doing all this defence on their goal line, and when they get the ball, they just don't look likely. Minicello finally succumbs and comes from the field.
Gus, I think the people at the other end are being entertained, even though they're not seeing a lot down in front of them.
They look entertained, don't they? They look pretty happy.
Roosters have got the ball 31 metres out from their own line, and Asta, they shift it left, and Nate Miles gets onto it, but Fiend's there with Tate. Also Madalino across to make the tackle. Now 9 metres inside their own half, and Asta, Tupou, good play. Pass well fielded by Perrott. Was behind him, then a wrestle with Kirk. And he played 43 metres away from the Warriors line. Roosters desperate need of points, and Asta slows it up, steadies up. Pearce tries a step and held in the tackle 35 metres from the line, trailing by 11. 9 minutes remain here at Mount Smart, and Asta goes very high. Ohia's underneath it. He's got it again. Ohia's got the ball, and the Warriors have possession. So many star players for the Warriors tonight. Here's another one. Ohio at fullback's been great. Kirk, some of the less fashionable players have done their job tonight for the Warriors.
And many of the smaller men have been outstanding. None better than the hooker Henderson. Fiend's been great. Ohio wonderful. This man's been tremendous out of dummy half, picking up metres, taking pressure off his forwards.
45 minutes from the line. Rapati will play it. Henderson, hero, 21 years of age, the man that will step into the starting front row next year to replace Wiki. He served quite an apprenticeship. Fiend goes high here on the last tackle. They attack the wing of Perrott. They're streaming through, but Perrott's got the ball. 10 metres out, and Dennis collected high by Madalino. Nothing vicious about the tackle, but penalty ruled by Tony Archer, and the Roosters really need to step it up. They are running out of minutes here.
Yes, just under 8. They need to score 2 converted tries to get in front here, and they're not going to get too many more opportunities. Anthony Minicello has left the field. It's like a cork over the left knee. That has allowed Amos Roberts to go out there. It's all or nothing now for the Roosters. Miles.
8 metres inside their own half. They trail 24 to 13. They haven't scored a point in the second half. It was the same story last week against the Broncos. Pearce goes over the top. Orbison's over the ball. This is Mitch Orbison taking on the cover of Mannering. I thought he needed to come back infield earlier on a slippery night. But he's managed to stay in the field of play. 25 minutes out. Roosters, big line left and deep. Pearce to Anasta. Anasta, bit of a step, then gets it away. This is good. Tupou, intercept. Kirk, beat it up. And Kirk's away for the Warriors. The chasers will not get to him. There's 26,000 Warriors fans here standing because the Warriors are a week away from the grand final. Captain Kirk has scored the try. Beat me up, Gus. What a try to the Warriors.
Well, he might have missed a jump when Tate got away, but not on that occasion. It looked like it was unfolding nicely on the outside for the Roosters, but it came apart as Ruben Wiki celebrates the fact he'll play another game. Next week, he'll be back on deck, Ruben Wiki. With Aiden Kirk wrapping this one up. Pass was on the outside. Anthony Tupou looked inside before throwing outside. By that time, the Warriors got defenders there.
No delay in putting the try down this week, putting the ball down. Not like Michael Witt last week, Kirk. He got the job done. It was probably forward the pass from Tupou, but what a moment for this young bloke, Aiden Kirk. In his second year at the Warriors, a former Rooster. Made his first grade debut this year, and in only his 14th game, he's got a moment like that. And look at Ruben. I'm going to grow a beard for next week, Gus.
Well, just wait for the kick here from Michael Witt, but I was on the plane home last year from Townsville when they were beaten by the Cowboys. They had a home semi here, they lost to Parramatta. They went up to Townsville and they were beaten with the Heat. I never saw a sadder group of players. 12 months later, they're 1 win away from the grand final.
And Witt successful, what a second half. 30 points to 13, and it's 24 straight points to the Warriors. Welcome back to Mount Smart Stadium. Aidan Kirk a try here tonight, 6 minutes away from full time. Kirk on grand final day a couple of years ago did his knee. He'd already signed to go to the Warriors, did his knee, played for Newtown, the feeder team for the Roosters. Went through the rehabilitation of the knee reconstruction, and here he is in first grade tonight. And I dare say the biggest moment of his career just then.
That's what he's done very well, Ivan Cleary. He's picked a lot of players out of the Roosters' lower grades that he used to coach, fellas like Ravelli, Henderson, and this fella Aidan Kirk, all have done a wonderful job for them. Here's a penalty for the Warriors. And you've got to put this win down to the coach, Ivan Cleary, and whatever he said at half-time. And I'm pretty confident what he said was, if you continue to run from dummy half, you will wear the Roosters down. We look our best when we go forward from the play the ball, and the Roosters' defence starts to get bad. Look at all that water he's drunk. He's had 8 bottles of water, Ivan.
Well, at the moment, he's got the Warriors mentally as attuned as they are physically. Though in the past, under pressure, with all due respect, they weren't that strong in the head, but it is a potent combination that physically they've always been outstanding. If they can become mentally tough in pressure situations, they are very formidable.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're under 20s tonight. Their Toyota Cup team just absolutely belted Penrith. And Penrith have got some great kids out there. They blew them off the park. So they've got both their teams 1 win away from grand final appearances. And Manly fans, this is not a mirage. This is the real thing. You've got a real game on your hands next Saturday night.
Rice will play it 15 metres out. Henderson gets into dummy half. And now along for feed. They're looking to really finish this one off. Tate's got it. Thought about kicking. Links up with Kirk again. He's back in field, only 5 metres from the line. Warriors with 5 tries to 2 tonight and 4 in the second half. Kick in goal will go dead.
Yeah, the last couple of kicks haven't been that good. It won't make any difference. But speaking of a difference, some Queenslanders out there are exactly what the Warriors needed. Stephen Price in the middle of the ruck, and out wide Brent Tate. He has added just some steadying influence out wide.
Don't forget too that I think Wade McKinnon is available next week as well. What do you do with Lance Ahaya? I think Wade McKinnon's a must. He's got to come back into the side.
There's Orbison for the Roosters, and Sark kicks almost up from over the sideline and then gets another little kick in, but it's gone now into touch. And you're right, Wade McKinnon is back next week. I just wonder, given that the Warriors and just the wave of emotion behind this team, is it too late to change it to ANZ? But maybe Sydney Football Stadium's not going to be big enough to hold Manly versus the Warriors next Saturday week.
Well, last year they qualified for a home semi-final by finishing in the top 4. There's the man, Wade McKinnon. He's all smiles. He gets another chance. And they spilled their lollies here against Parramatta. That forced them up to Townsville, and they played in 40-degree heat up there, and they're blown off the park. And on the plane trip home, I've never seen a more devastated group of players and coaches in my life. I actually shared a beer with Ivan Cleary, and they were so down on it that they had high hopes, and they were the first bundled out. Now, they were the first expected to be going home in 8th position, and they're 1 win away.
Played by Rapati Price. Without trying to show any bias, I just wonder how they could manufacture a try here for Ruben Wiki. His last game in New Zealand. Here he is with the ball, Wiki. 42 metres away from the line. I don't even give to Ruben for a field goal shot on full time. It's not really his style, though. He'd be happy with just a hard hit up to finish his career here. Touched there by Soliola and over the sideline.
Well, I'm sure if they score a try, they'll give him a kick at goal. And I don't know that I've ever seen Ruben kick too many balls, but with 27 seconds left, I don't think we'll pack the scrum. That is the end of the season for the Roosters, and the Warriors, who finished in 8th position, have overcome last year's premiers, the Melbourne Storm. They've overcome Team 4, the Roosters, and they take on Manly Team 2 next Saturday night. Brad Fittler thanks the troops. It's all over for them. But the Warriors, it's going to be a party here in Auckland tonight.
Well, Laurie Daly and Tim Gilbert down on the ground at the moment. There it is. The Roosters season comes to an end, and the men in black, the Warriors, stride through, march into a grand final qualifier against Manly. They've got a date with the Seagulls. They have won tonight by 30 points to 13 after they trailed by 13 points to 6. And that trend of the Roosters not coming up with points after half-time has continued into their final game of the season. The Warriors just too good. O'Hire a double, Henderson, Vadavai, Kirk the intercept try. Witt was perfect with a boot, 5 from 5, and the Roosters, Pearce and Minicello, a controversial penalty try in the first half. Fitzgibbon a couple of goals and an Asta a field goal, the story of tonight. Let's go down to the field, Laurie Daly.
Yeah, thanks, Bossy. Joining me for another great performance tonight. Rubes, outstanding. The crowd has come out and supported you guys, and you haven't let them down.
No, mate, the bloody packed house was, and with the Storm in the first half, we didn't have much ball, but we come home in the second half, man, and just stuck to our guns, eh?
What was spoken about at half-time, you didn't have a lot of possession. Your goal line defence at stages was fantastic. You knew if you got an even share of possession, you could put points on the Roosters.
Yeah, I think it was the attitude and defence in that first half really stood up for the second half, and I think we the belief in the boys that we would get over the line, and we did, mate.
I spoke to you earlier in the week, and you told me you think the Warriors have found the winning formula by being relaxed and not thinking about the results, just having some fun, going out there and just playing, and it seems to be working.
It is, mate. Just give it to the choo-choo train, bro. But no, we had fun today, bro, and just putting pressure on the opposition. But we still got a lot of work to do, bro.
Well, the fairy tale continues. All the best next Saturday night, mate, when you take on Manly.
Cheers, guys.
Over to you, Timmy.
Thank you, Laurie. Well, we're here with Anthony Minicello. A tough time, Anthony, but 7 points up at half-time. Those second halves just aren't working for you.
No, they're not, mate. We can't seem to finish off games, and we didn't do that again tonight, and they rolled us again, and it hurts,
What about this environment that doesn't get much more hostile?
No, it is. It's very hostile, mate, but it was exciting through the week. We come over early, and there was a buzz in the town, and we knew they'd win for a tough match, and we tried to shut out the crowd, and we did that in the first half, but second half it wasn't meant to be.
A couple of difficult years for you, I suppose. There's some sort of sense of just happy to be here, happy to be standing and playing football.
Yeah, mate. I feel like I'm pretty fresh. I haven't played most of the year, so it's weird that it's all over for the year now. So I feel like I want to keep playing. So it's tough because I haven't contributed much with the boys this year. But we're done.
Well, thanks for having a chat, Anthony. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thanks, Tim.
Laurie, back to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Tim. I'm over here with a crowd favourite, Manu Vatuvei. What about that, mate? Sensational performance.
Oh, the boys that went out there, they were excited, and we were desperate to win the game and make us go to the finals against Manly. So big ups to the boys for that.
Won last week against the Melbourne Storm. You knew it was going to be difficult against the Roosters tonight. Down at half-time, but the boys responded great.
Yeah, we never gave up. We had a short turnaround, but the boys hung in there, and I'm pretty proud of the boys' performance. So, yeah.
One game away from a grand final. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
I'm really excited. This is my first time, so I'm just going to go out there and do my best, and I'm just going to concentrate on next week, so yeah.
Well, you're a real crowd favourite, mate. Thanks for giving us some time, and all the best next Saturday night against Manly. Back to you, Vossi.
Thank you, Laurie, and to Tim Gilbert on ground, and well done, the Warriors. So we are now down to 5 teams to win the title, to win the Telstra Premiership. Manly, Cronulla, Melbourne, the Broncos, and the team that finished 8th. The Warriors are still in with a shot, and they have now won 10 of their last 12 matches. What a win here tonight, 30 points to 13. It's not over yet. Stay with us after the break. Plenty more to come. Laurie Daly with a brute endurance man of the match. Finals football on the home of rugby league, Channel 9.